Hello everyone, welcome to another video. It's a beautiful afternoon out here in the Mojave Desert. It's been about a year since I made one of these videos. Pretty much been up to the same old stuff. Still got the chickens. Got a little pig, she's new. This building right here is new. That's gonna be my pottery studio, as well as Olivia's soap making space. Probably do a tour of that at some point. But yeah, anyways, fall is approaching, so I'm out here in the garden. Last year I was a little late to plant winter crops, so I don't want that to happen again. So I'm gonna tear out whatever's not producing any fruit anymore and clean it up, get it ready to plant some carrots and my favorite, garlic. Try Brussels sprouts, maybe some broccoli, some leafy greens, lettuce, maybe kale. But yeah, I thought I'd show you guys around the garden before I tear everything out. Got some jalapenos over here. This was the only plant. Did pretty good. Just got a bunch on it. So that one will be staying until it finishes producing. There was some bean plants down here. They did pretty good despite the heat. They were in a good spot. It's nice and shaded here from this big creosote and the grape. And we got a little tower of melons here. There's some honeydew, cantaloupe. Another honeydew right there. Bunch of cherry tomato. Volunteers came up. We had some nice basil plants that are now flowering. Back here there were some acorn squash. Those produced quite a few squash. The vines are dead now though. There was a real big buttercup squash vine right there. Right here's the only fairly large tomato variety. It only got one tomato on it that I'm still waiting to ripen. The corn, I've realized, doesn't do too well out here in the desert, so I don't think I'll do any of that next year. We have a couple cannabis plants again. Those are doing great. There's a couple more over there. Over here we had the majority of the watermelons, as well as a new one for me this year, which is eggplant. That's cool. I already harvested most of the watermelons. There's a pretty big one right there, still growing. There's a couple of cantaloupes still. One there, one there. There was a whole bunch of zucchinis right here. Those died off quite a while ago. And yeah, the lavender plants are about 2 or 3 years old now. So I'll probably pull those out as well as possibly that sage. I've heard they're only really packed full of nutrients for the first couple of years, and they sort of taper off, so probably plant a new one of those. And I'll just cut the rosemary back. That one's only about a year old. There's those other cannabis plants. This is just one little guy, slightly larger one here. And oh yeah, the grapevine got pretty big this year. Got a little arch right here that we put in. This was from my grandparents' house. But yeah, hopefully the grape gets a couple fruits on it next year. Grew quite a bit this year, probably triple the size that it was last year, so I'm hoping for some grapes next year. But yeah, that's about it for the 2021 summer garden. I'll clean this up and hopefully get some winter stuff planted. And yeah, I'll be hopefully making more videos more consistently from here on out. But yeah, I'm gonna get going on this. Alright, it's the next morning. Chickens are enjoying some of the immature melons and cucumbers that got too big. This is the progress we made in the garden. And obviously leave those and the other cannabis. I'm gonna leave a couple of basil plants. I want to collect the seeds. Probably just trim back this tomato plant and leave the large tomato on there. I'm gonna cut back these watermelon vines. Probably leave the one with the big watermelon and the larger cantaloupes. I'm gonna leave this jalapeno plant. Just trim this up a little bit, but let the few melons in there finish. There's the pile we've pulled out already. This half had far more weeds than the other half. It's these little ground cover type weeds. So that's been a bit more work to pull out, but yeah, good progress. I'm gonna finish this up now. Come here, Piggy. Piggy! Piggy! So there were a couple carrots that, like I said, I think I planted my winter crops too late last year, so the seeds didn't germinate. So a couple of them appear to have come up in the spring. That's the biggest one that grew this summer. So we'll see if we can get some bigger ones this winter. Alright, it's the evening now. Finally cooling off. It's a pretty hot day, so got done what I could in the morning, which was pretty much everything I mean, not everything I had to get done, but I got all the plants out that I needed to get out of here. Been letting the chickens have a heyday. So yeah, now I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit, maybe get these stumps out, and the lavender and the sage, and then this compost is about ready, so that's gonna go in here. And yeah, I'm gonna get some of that done now. cleaned up. And divided these back into the beds, redefined the walkways. These kind of got pretty overgrown and just kind of disappeared during the growing season, so I decided I'm actually gonna add some borders, some fence boards to try and keep the dirt all in. But yeah, I emptied the compost bin, actually took it out, give a little more space in here. And yeah, the compost looked great. I spread it all around. So now I'm just gonna grab some wood and get going on those beds. Alright, here's what we got going. Keep those beds contained and the walkways maintained. Just some hardwood stakes and fence boards, pretty simple. But yeah, it's getting pretty hot out here. It's supposed to be about 102 today, so I'm gonna take a break and probably get back out here when it cools off a bit this evening. Yet another day, another morning out here in the garden. Got quite a few of these beds done. Just gotta finish the back there. Just a little bit on that side. But yeah, they're coming together real nice. Real excited about planting this winter crop. Just researching a bunch of times to plant things, and probably gonna get some Brussels sprouts in the ground. That'll be the first thing. I love Brussels sprouts, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this. There you have it. Garden's all cleaned up, ready to plant the winter veggies. I'm really stoked with how these boxes came out. I think it's gonna be real nice in here, be able to walk through plants. And yeah, it's the end of this video. I'll probably be making more of them. Have a good one, everybody. See you in the next one.